being better when I'm 70. Your drip is just a water spring. You know I drip.
All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Sip and Talk with Mslonda. I have two great guests joining me this evening. I have Tim Mcgeary and Robert Paul. They are both artists, and they are here to share their story and their journey on their artists. Hello. Yeah.
We have a journey, all right.
We're having a journey trying to get to Minnesota.
Oh, are you guys planning on coming out here?
Yeah, right now, actually. So we're struggling.
Do you have a concert coming up?
I'm kidding, Mslonda. I'm saying this.
Pull it my wig. Okay.
No line.
All right. So, tell us like what type of music you guys do. What type of band are you?
Oh, okay. We're sort of like I say, Americana rock. You know, we like if you like Tom Petty, Train, that kind of stuff. You know, pop, and actually, Kings of Leon, Tom Petty. You know, we've been doing a friend of ours in Nashville, Mike Kinnaman, put us together. You know, because he was a tour manager when Robbie used to play with Johnny Van Zant. That's the Johnny Van Zant band for about 15, 16 years. Now Johnny's the new lead singer for Leonard Skinner. It's right. And so what happened was, are you still there? We're missing you. Okay. There she is.
There you are.
All right. All right, you could keep going.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
No problem. So and then I was with Mike working with him up in Nashville for, you know, and we're like really good friends. So he said, hey, you know, this guy Robbie, he's a great guitar player. Why don't you like, you know, write some song with him and stuff? And so I went to Robbie's. We wrote a few things, you know, nothing that blew our hair back, but like, you know, we're getting there. And then Robbie came down and said, hey, you know, let's go come down to my house. So he came down and to my house, into my studio, and it was really organic, you know. We were writing songs together and just came like, you know, I respected his talent, respected mine, you know. I've been working in the studio really hard to get my studio chops going, you know, for recording, because I've been doing a lot of singles, you know. I have singles from people in Scotland, Germany, from the country of Georgia, Mexico, you know, all kinds of stuff. And this is my first album project, and it was really cool. So, you know, and it just, you know, we're really happy with it because basically it's some of the best stuff I've ever done. I don't know. I think Robbie feels the same way, like it's some of the best stuff he's ever done. So, you know what I mean? So we're just out there, and we got about 120, 130 stations playing it. A couple syndicated shows that have 70 to 90 stations each, so they're playing it. And like in Australia, what's it, DJ Cat? We're like number 5, right?
Yep, number 5.
Number 5, and then Banks were number 3 or 5 around there. So we're all like at the top 10 of all these stations around the world, which is great. And so we're just doing it, and you know, yeah, it was really good. And we just had a great time doing it. You know, Robbie's a great guitar player, you know, and it's funny because people always ask like, where the songs come from. I'd like to tell you, but they're like gifts, you know. Sometimes it's like, where to come, you know. I mean, some things were like from, you know, some personal experiences, good and bad, and some good, some bad, you know, and but like you say, but most of the time it's like sometimes it just sort of falls on you, like it almost comes from above, you know, like that. And I don't know. So, Robbie, what do you say? I'll let you go.
I would say that I kind of agree with Tim that Tim's more of a prolific lyric writer than I am, but I do get a lot of riffs, and most of the time they, like Tim might tell you, that they happen just in the middle of the night. And if you have to get up or get your phone out and put it down, or you will forget it. And sometimes when you get up the next morning, you're going, wow, that's really good. Or as Tim says, that's unfortunate.
that
was a bad dreams, what that was.
I learned that from
but you never know. So
I did. Now I'm down in Memphis, Art Studios, my first solo, and John Hampton he's big time engineer and produced like the Gin Blossom stuff like that. And he said like if I sing, I'll be like, Tim, that's a little unfortunate. Like so, that was sort of a nice way of saying like that sucks, but like you say it nice so you don't feel so bad,
All right.
But no, the thing is like the nice thing is too is like when we write together and in my studio, we're not having the pressure like you're not spending a lot of money. You know what I mean? It's my studio, so you just so that's free. So we relaxed, and then we just let's make it the best we could. We pulled in. We had some really great players. Darren that played drums. David Johnson, he's played with the Neville Brothers. He's like killer. He's a great guy, and and super musician. He was a bass player and just killed it. Did great. And then we brought in my friend Ray Nesbitt and Ray Nesbitt Audio, and Ray's done a bunch of albums for me before, and he's got a better set of ears. So I'm new at this because I'm only about 3.5, 4 years into like in the recording thing, but I really dove in, and he's helped me a lot. I get a lot of tutoring, and he has some really good friends that are serious engineers. That's helped me, and so I said, hey, Ray said, so Ray helped us like, I gave him the tracks because sometimes when you're doing the tracks and you just listen to them over and over and over, you're missing stuff. You know what I mean? So you give it to somebody who hasn't heard it, a whole different set of ears, and let's go, okay. And then he tweaked it and it came out great. And then he mastered it. And then well, I guess that's the end of the story. So, but it was a combination of like songwriting, guitar playing, lyrics, getting the good players in, and the good mastering and mixing. And that's the story. So like we were saying before, like sonically, it just sounds really good on the radio.
Yes.
It's just like, wow, sort of really, it's right there. So, and we're getting a lot of really good feedback from people in the business of music, that like, no, you know what I mean? That like, and they're like, like, wow, this is like, they're sort of surprised. Robbie's like, he's like a shredder,
All right. So both of you guys write or just one of you guys write?
Yeah.
You both write?
Yeah. We
both write.
wrote the record.
And then are you both producers or just one of you?
Just Tim.
I'm the producer. Yeah, I produce.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I've been producing like singles, like I have Samara, Leah Graves, Samara Prentice, Leo Alonso. I have this guy Jaja in the country of Georgia, and then I have Missy Balsam here locally, and I'm working with a lot of people. And I have some like friends here that come in and do that, that want to do some songs, stuff like that. But this was a serious project. That's all I could say. Like, we wanted to make the best we could, we honed it down, you know what I mean? And we like, elite, like we're doing this song on there called Kicking Down the Road, and Robbie's doing these leads, and like, we both looking at it like, it's just not, something's not right. Just it's not angry enough, because this guy's like, the whole song is like, kicking down the road, all I want was my guitar. And so what happened is, so I said, well, do you play slide? And he never really played slide. I mean, he practiced slide and could play it, but he never really did on a record. And so I said, well, try it. And it sounded great. It's like, and he killed it. It's like, I'm a slide player now.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was the song needed. It needed that, like, that like that, that a slide guitar is just like sort of has like it has
anger.
Yeah. Do you do any videos or anything, or?
We're working on that right now. We're just the album's only been out like a week.
Oh, okay. So is this your first album?
Yeah, as is
together. Yeah, I have.
But you guys have been separate artists in the past.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
That was go ahead, Johnny. Go ahead, Robert. You can tell your story.
I spent 16 years in the Johnny Van Zant band, from 75 to 1991. Mm-hmm. When he left to go sing for Skinner, made 7 records, toured all over the world. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's my story. So
yeah.
All right. Okay.
I was at A&M Records, 83, 84 with a band called The Rescue. We had a song called Messages. Was the American single, and Tell Me Now was the English single. We opened up for like Billy Idol, Duran Duran, Depeche Mode, all those bands, Roxy Music back in the day. But we did like 2 years of straight touring. You know, we did the London. Went to London to do the record, which is great. It was so much fun. Then I've worked a lot on putting my songs on TV shows like Smallville, One Tree Hill, Glory Days. There's a show called Prey. It was on ABC. Bunch of movies and stuff like that. So I'm working the sync world, which is, you know, sort of a good way to make some money because you get that mailbox money every 3 months, which is great. So I do a lot of that too. I have people in LA and in Texas that, you know, do movie stuff for me. And also too, like, you know, they'll call me up. They go, "Hey man, I need this thing for this car company." I go, "What do you need?" "Well, it's got to have energy and it has to have this and blah, blah, blah." I go, "Okay, when do you need it?" "In an hour." "What?"
In an hour. That's right.
Okay. So,
Okay.
I mean, because, you know, the thing is, you know, the recording things you have today are they're easy to use. And once you get a handle on it, you can really, I can whip a track up in, you know, 15 minutes, you know, it's quick. So, and then the more you use it, and I have some plugins that have really cool sound stuff. So I put all that stuff in there. But so that's, you know, but the thing is, I really want to get into producing, you know what I mean? That was this album to me is like the best thing I've done.
Now, if you get into producing, what type of music will you only produce? One type of music, or will you produce all types of music?
No, I do R&B. There's a guy, Lonzo Bartlett. We have a song called, if you go to YouTube, it's called "To All the People," and "You More Than Me." He's a great soul singer. He's actually like the new singer for the Platters. Remember the band, the Platters, right?
Mm-hmm.
Back in the 50s. And I guess most of those guys have gone away, but the last guy that was alive, and Lonzo was at his bedside when he was just about to pass, and he just promised me, Lonzo, that you keep the Platters name going. So he does, and he sings with them, and it's pretty cool. But he's got a great soul voice. Oh my God, I love it. You know, he comes in here just just slays me. So we have some other songs we're working on now too. And then I do with Missy Boss some more electronic stuff. I also have things that are like, I have some stuff that's electronic, little 80s kind of sounding stuff. I have some, you know, some acoustic things, you know. So I, you know, just for me, I don't have to like a genre, you know what I mean? Because you're stuck in a genre. All of a sudden, like, you get it gets old, you know what I mean? I have to spread out. And I think in this record too, like that one song, like "She's Long Gone," they had this, you know, the verse has got a banjo in it. And then when the chorus comes in, it's like rock guitars. You're like, whoa, what? You know, it's like, because it's going to be a country thing, and it doesn't go country, it goes rock. So it's like, so I think if we, you know, we try to like make, you know, different things, and also too, every song is like a little bit different. I mean, there's a cohesiveness of a lot of the guitar playing and sound and the singing, but each song is like its own entity, and that's what I love, because I hate when, you know, some of these record companies, they get these poor bands and they make them every song sound the same. And that way they'll know it's you. Well, that way, you know, it's boring as all heck. You know what I mean? So, you know, so why don't you just like do something like, you know, spread out, do something a little different. I did work with some guys, some rap people, this guy in Washington, and another guy that we're putting some stuff together. We have this one song called "It's My Circus," and a few other ones. So that too. So, you know, I mean, I just love what music does. I mean, you know, you said the Grammys, right? Luke
I haven't watched the Grammys, and they're just not the same. But I haven't watched them, no.
I will tell you.
Well,
what,
this one was good because of Tracy Chapman. Yeah.
Tracy Chapman, remember, you had Fast Cars, remember, right? And Luke Combs, country singer, you know what I mean? And got together. Now here's a guy like country, you know what I mean? And I have a gay Black woman, and they sang together, and that was the thing. It's like, you know what music does? It puts people together.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's the whole thing. I mean, you know, Robbie and I both played big shows. You know, you're 25, 30,000 people, right? And you have everyone different religion, different colors, different races, different sexual identities. And when the music comes on, what happens? Everyone, not all that stuff that try to separate us is gone. And if that isn't spiritual, nothing is. You know what I mean?
That's right.
Me, you know, and I love that.
Music is very spiritual, Mslonda. I mean, if people that listen to music, they all agree that that's what attracts them to them. They can forget about their troubles or be reminded of memories that they had in their life. You know, it's incredible.
Yeah. I mean, my mom had Alzheimer's, right? And she had a hard time talking at the end. She had, it was real bad. But when she'd go to this room and the guy played piano, she could sing all those songs. She knew all the lyrics. Music just opens up another part of the brain. You know what I mean? And I'm watching her like, smiling and singing to this guy's, stuff, because she used to sing and was a piano player. And I thought, how cool that. I mean, music does so much. Like, we're all about, like, we love about the education, keeping music in the schools and stuff. Because if you think what that does for kids, concentration, you know what I mean? The sonic thing, it's like science, the spirituality of it, the thing of being a body of other musicians, you know what I mean? So you have community. I mean, there's so many cool things that happen with music that you have to make sure that this keeps going on, and we don't, take that out of the schools, because it's super important, I think, Of course, I'd say that, right?
What encouraged you to get into music? Is this something that you've always wanted to do growing up, or?
Yeah, me, 8. I've been playing since I was 8. So, yeah, I born with it kind of thing. And actually, my first guitar, I just used it to pose, like some kids do. I could pose before I could play, so to speak. I had those moves down first, worked on the moves, and then I learned how to play, because I figured without the moves, what good is it?
We had I was piano lessons, and my teacher, she gave me this lesson, and I was about 5 or 6 years old, and I said, and I wrote this. She's like, what? Yeah, I wrote this. So I've been writing music my whole life, and all the bands I've been in. I was originally a bass player. I mean, I was actually a drummer, and this band needed a bass player. So they said, well, we don't need a drummer. We just need a bass player. You play bass? Now, I had been fooling around with an acoustic guitar, so I knew E, A, D, G, right? Okay, 4 strings, that's easy.
Yeah.
And my friend's dad, his grandfather, won a cheap Japanese electric guitar at Palisades Amusement Park. This goes way back. If you're in the 50s, there was a song about Palisades Park. And so we hacked off the top 2 nuts, put bass strings on it. I was a bass player. And for 20 years, I played bass professionally, and all over the place. So, I mean, but I always loved, and it's funny because my dad, he was an FBI agent, right? So, and I was the oldest of 10 children, Irish Catholic, 5 sisters named Mary. I'm probably the black sheep of the family. I'm the only one with tattoos, right? The rocker, everyone else is like, khaki pants, blue blazers, golf on the weekends. And then I come in like, what happened to you? It's like,
yeah. Music gets a bad rap right there. They blame it all on music. That's the reason you look that way and act that way. It's the devil's music.
Have you done any tours or anything, or do you plan to do any tours?
Yes.
We have. Robbie's has 2 guys that he's already that know the songs already, and we're gonna get a set together, and we're gonna work on that. Getting that together in the next month or 2. You know what I mean? And then start trying to do some live gigs.
Okay, cool. All right.
Because
where would you like to tour first?
Minneapolis. Where do you think?
Yeah. Like ever coming to your house doing a private concert?
Oh, but I would come to your house.
I'm at office. I'm in the office right now, so
that don't matter. We'll stand up right there with you.
Okay, cool.
All 5 of us, and we'll play a little concert right there.
Okay. So has the album dropped, or do you have a date that you plan to drop the album?
No, it did drop. It did drop, but 9 days ago, I think. Yeah.
Oh,
yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And last Monday a week ago.
Where is it streaming? Is it on all the streaming apps?
Everything, yeah.
Yes. Amazon, Spotify, Apple, YouTube, Amazon, all of them. If you go to my website, robertpaulband.com, you'll see a link to all those websites.
Okay. Now, is it just you 2 in the band, or do you have like other people in the band?
Just us 2 did most of the instruments on the record, and then like Tim said, we had other players, but the live band, there's guys that I have played with before.
Yeah, and they're like pros, so it's really good. Yeah.
Okay.
So, can't do. You get to like
You're not a pro.
you get a little spoiled, you know what I mean? Like, and I, because when I went to Nashville, like the players are so good there, and so like one time I had this show and I was supposed to play that night, and the guy called me, well, you need a band. I go, what? You didn't tell me that. Oh. So I call my friend. I go, dude, I need a band. I need a bass player. I need a drummer. I need a guitar player, and me. And he goes, okay, come on, come to my house. When do we got to play? Tonight. I was like, oh God, okay.
Oh,
tonight. So they have a thing called Nashville numbers, and it's like a numbering system. And like it's like like you had like a blues chord. It would be like 1 would be the E, 4 would be the A, and B would be the 5, right? So that's how it's a numbering system. They have stops and starts. They have a whole thing they do. So I played these on acoustic guitar. This guy, he's numbering them down for the sheets. He makes copies, hands everyone, then they go, okay, 1, 2, 3, and everyone's playing like we've been playing for 10 years. I'm like, what?
Yeah, it's amazing.
And we played the show. He goes like, you guys are really tight. How long have you been together? I go, what time is it?
What time is it? Right after breakfast.
And see, you get used to that kind of players. It's like hard to go back to the old kind of players where it's like, let's practice and rehearse 50 times before we go out.
Can't
do
it.
And the thing is, you don't have to, because we're at a point now, and that if you're gonna have anybody play with you, they got to be good, and they got to be prepared. Like I mean, like.
And that's not an ego thing, Mslonda. It's just
no, it's not that. It's just like like the thing is, with professionals, here's the song. They know the song. They can play the song. So when you come to practice, it's just tighten up, like where with little stops and starts.
Stops and starts. That's it.
That's it. So, and they know it. You're not learning the song there. I mean, if I got to learn the song, I go, well, then you might as well just go home and then come back.
Or some of them, they want you to show them how to play it.
Yeah, no, we're doing that. If I got to play it.
It's not that hard. You can learn it.
Yeah.
So in producing, when do you start? When are you planning to start, like, producing other people?
Oh, me? I'm doing it now.
Oh, you're doing it now?
Oh, yeah. I did 2 people from Scotland, 1 from Georgia, 1 from Mexico, a bunch around here, like that, stuff like that. Singles. You know what I mean? Just doing like, one shot. And then I have my own stuff, like, on the side, like, I have a lot of solo stuff I've done. And but I really, the whole thing was, is to get into production, as another, part of music. Cause I love the whole thing of doing it. I have a brain that thinks of, I don't know, Robbie, like it's sort of, I don't know. I just get this thing in my head, how I sort of want it to sound. And sometimes it works out exactly like I think, or sometimes it's better because somebody else brings something to the table. And and the big thing is you got to keep your ego out of it. So it's like, hey, I tried this point. I went, oh, you're right. That sounds better. Let's do that. You know what I mean? Okay. The thing is, what you got to do is you want to have the best thing you can. So whatever it takes, you know what I mean? Like I've done a lot of co-writing, and there's been times in the room where I do 90% of the co-writing, do 10, and sometimes I do 10 and they do 90. But the thing is, you don't know, because I could have said one word or one small phrase, and that just takes off a whole bunch of lyrics. Because oh my God, that's the way we should be, the direction of the lyrics of this song. You know what I mean? Because so it's always. I've always done it's always 50-50, or if it's 3 people, like, a third, and it works that way. So, and, I mean, and I'll tell you, when I went to Nashville, I thought I was a songwriter. I had albums out. I know what I'm doing, blah, 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 blah. And then I went to Nashville and I got like smacked like a schoolboy, and I was schooled hard, but it was great though. I mean, I made some really nice friends. They were patient with me. You know what I mean? And they knew I had the goods to get it done. I just wasn't ready, and to that level. And so after 12 years of being up there, co-writing, I don't know, probably 400 or 500 songs up there, in the last 12 years. Yeah, I get it, and it took me and Rob will tell you, it took me a couple of years before I got it. You know what I mean? I had to go back there and just write. But, like there's a thing called furniture in the room. you know, like that, you know, and all that means is like there's a song called American Made. I'll just do the lyrics. You know, it's the smoking pipes of a Harley and the rumble that they make. It's the laughter of a child, her first July parade. You got you're on a baseball diamond on a hot dog and a beer, and a baseball diamond on a hot summer night. You got a hot dog and an ice cold beer, and you're singing the national anthem, and you're holding back a tear. You can see all that stuff.
Sure.
You can see the Harley. You can see the kid on the dad's shoulders, you know, laughing at the parade, right? You can see you're at baseball diamond, hot dog, beer, and they're singing the national anthem. You know, I always think that when Whitney Houston sang the national anthem that one time,
yeah,
yeah, that if that didn't move you, that's just like, oh my God, man, that's just like,
well, her voice always moved me.
oh,
so sad. Producing all of, you know, those different people in all those different like countries and stuff, is that hard to maintain? Do you fly to all of those different countries? Like
everything's done online.
It's all digital.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, just like we're doing right here, Mslonda. We could write a song together right now.
Yeah.
So how would you maintain a person who, say for instance, like they wrote a rap, but they can't catch the flow? How would you maintain that online?
Well,
good question. Good question.
If you like, I had some guys I was working with. One guy was I won't get named, but you know, he was sort of missing it, and he doesn't have power. You know, so we worked on that. And then some guys just get it. Some of the guys, you know, I work with it, like they're like right on it. You know, when the flow is just like, you know, the beat is cool. You know, but you can I can sit there actually with a computer and put you in the flow.
Literally.
Yes.
Literally.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I can.
Plus, there are all kinds of electronic or plugins that can help you with all this.
Yeah.
You know.
So basically, people can make money just sitting in their living room.
Well, you can. I mean, a thing, but you know, you have to know how you're doing. You know, I mean, like just, you know,
you got to have talent. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's you know, it's when you get into that part of it, you know. And most of the time, what I do is like when somebody sends it, I say, okay, you send me 4 tracks of the same thing. 4. Okay. So, and then what I do, I can cut and paste the ones that are good. Like this one a little weak, this one's a rough time, and then when you hear it, sounds like, wow, that's awesome. It works.
Oh.
It works.
And that's all me. Like, you know, I mean, I do a thing called Songs of Love, and it's a program where they send me, these kids have like cancer or like, you know, really bad diseases, you know, and so what you do is they give me all their favorite stuff, their food, their pets, their parents, their friends, their family, all the names and stuff, and I write them a single. I do that, like, you know, I've been doing that for a couple of years, and it's really beautiful. And that actually, and that's showed me a lot of stuff too. I learned a lot of stuff from doing those all the time, you know. So I mean, and that's just like basically doing it. And what happens is, you know, when you start getting these skills of cutting and pasting, and you know, and automation and all these little things you can do for vocals, and it's really amazing. The melodynes, the pitch control stuff, you know what I mean? Like you always have to think it's like, wham, it's almost like, you know, it's like that. That's when the melodyne's like too much, you know what I mean? But they use that for an effect sometimes, you know. But you could just talk to a song, and I can take a melodyne, and I'll just put your vocals on, and put the melodyne, and you'll be singing.
Okay.
You know?
We have like a few more minutes.
That's a good thing, but that's a bad thing in the wrong hands.
Yes.
You can take people with absolutely no talent, and they end up sounding good. And then when you go to see them live, you are, what the heck happened?
Yeah.
Right.
Who is that person up there?
There's some people I watched singing in the Grammys a couple of times. It's like,
yeah, you know it's not them.
What happened? Did you forget how to sing that night? I mean,
what the heck?
Yeah. And then some guys are great, you know. I mean, just like, you know, I mean,
as good as they are in the studio, they're that good live. John Legend.
Yep.
These guys, man, you hear them live, it's the same guy.
Yeah, same thing. Yeah.
Billy Joel, excuse me. When you hear Billy Joel live, it's the same voice. There's no change.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. We have a few more minutes before we get out of here. I would like for you guys to let the people know where you are. And also, I would have had you play a song, but when I upload to YouTube, then it'll say oh, we had to cut some of it out because of copyright. So I'm gonna add it when I put it on my network, but on YouTube, I won't put the song on there. If you would like to send a song.
Oh, well, we can. I don't know. It's other people are playing it, so I'm not sure why you can't play it, but I guess YouTube. But if I give you the permission, play it.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So I don't know how that works, but yeah.
Would you want to try it? Would you like to try it?
Sure.
I mean,
Sure.
Do you have your song ready?
Oh no! Oh, playing it. I mean, what I'll do is I'll send you an MP3 because you know, yeah, I don't have my guitar. I mean, I don't. Yeah.
Okay.
And plus, I have a cold, so.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And plus, it's not really him, Mslonda. He's just, you know, it's really just a couple of computer guys, so we're just standing in for him.
Okay.
Very funny.
All right. Let the viewers know where they can find you.
Okay, for me, it's my Facebook is the Robert Paul Band .com/Facebook. I had to look that up to know that. And then my website is robertpaulband.com.
Okay.
And
Okay.
For me, Tim Mcgeary Music, you know, on Facebook. All right. And Tim Mcgeary on Facebook, Tim Mcgeary Official on Instagram. I'm on and timmcgeary.com is my website. So I was going to say, but go to the website, the robertpaulband.com. That's the one that has all the stuff on it, you know, and the pictures and all the songs on it, and where you can buy stuff, you know, stuff like that. You know, we're selling the album for $9, which is not a lot of money. You know, I mean, it's like it's pretty cheap. And you know, if you for downloads, because we do have CDs, so because we have a lot of people that like the CD because they want it signed. So if they do that, just you go to that website and let Robert know, and
just send an email.
We'll send you one. Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Well, yes, thank you. I appreciate you guys dropping by. It was a great interview. Till next time.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right.
Nice to meet you.
Thanks a lot. Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.